smarter than the next guy, but I'm a fucking idiot when it comes to that stuff. The same producers who screwed me at the end of season 2 with the reunion, and and they did all that stuff to me. It's like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, I'm a fucking asshole. They did it again. They did it again. And they kissed my ass and they whatever. I remember I didn't sign the release. It was an oversight. And then they like begged me, and we're going to do this, and we're going to make you in the most favorable light. And then they made me look like I didn't talk. Imagine me not talking. I can't shut the fuck up. I talk incessantly. And so now every once in a while, I'll hear people, oh, she's great behind her computer screen, but she freezes when people talk to her. It's like, no, I don't freeze. So, but yes, after that, she called me and she didn't know what was going to air. And then I never called her back because she didn't call me. She sent me a long text, the way that she sends, very convoluted, very self-serving. And I was like, I'm not doing that. And so no, after that, I talked to her at the finale. We had a great talk. We walked to the car together. We had a really good talk. She said shit about Marisol that she'll deny saying. And that was that. And I've never spoken to her again.
I love that it's just like, she said shit about Marisol and she'll deny it.
She did say shit about Marisol, but she'll never admit
drop it in.
Because I think I've said this before,
Well, yeah, I'm like with Ace here. Like, what did she say about Marisol?
So basically, when we spoke there, first of all, we had a scene at the end of the finale, or towards the end of the finale episode, that the producers were like, you have such a great scene with Alexia. We can't wait for the viewers to see that, because it was kind of like, it wasn't a reconciliation per se, but it was like an understanding. And I guess they just got pissed off because I didn't call her back or whatever. I don't know the reasons. They omitted it altogether. It was also funny that I noticed that at the end of the season, they had first put, when I would walk in, first of all, I'm a former housewife. It's not a big deal, not like anything to be extremely proud of, but that's what I am. So people who are watching that, if they don't remember, they should make reference to that. First, they put Nicole's friend, and then they put Adriana's friend. So it's just, they just play dirty, and it's awful. But so when we were talking, she said something to me like, I can't believe that you allowed Adriana to influence you to say this and this. I said, come on, Alexia, you've known me long enough. She didn't influence me to say anything. She put words in my mouth, and I clarified that that's not what happened. And I said, we talked about the fact that she doesn't read anything. She doesn't read comments. She doesn't, she says she doesn't. And I kind of probably tend to believe that. But she sees everything through Marisol's filter. So Marisol, who's so desperate, Marisol spends her day humping Alexia's leg. That's what she does. She is so desperate to be on that show that Alexia could kill her, dogs or her whatever fake husband or whatever. And she would be like, well, they needed killing, She's like a Trump supporter of, and I don't want to talk about politics, but I'm saying, people that are just so adamant of like, this is the way it is. And so that's how she felt about the whole thing. She was just like, whatever I have to do to keep myself on, she'll do. So I said to her, she gives you everything through the Marisol filter, and I think you should read things yourself, because this is not what I said and this is not what happened. She goes, no, I know. She's obsessed with this. She would do anything for this show. Before that, she told me that the husband was not a real husband, that she married him for the show, way before the show came back when I did the Real Housewives, what do you call that? The auction. Remember the reunion dress auction I did during COVID? Oops. So we've had conversations where she's thrown Marisol under the bus, but of course she'll deny it because I'm a liar and I'm this and I'm that and whatever. It's just deflecting. But I saw this whole thing with the divorce coming, and a lot of people are saying that they did it for a storyline, and somebody misquoted me or kind of misunderstood what I was saying to my daughter. I don't believe that the divorce is fake. I believe that it's a real divorce. I believe that Todd kind of realized that he made a mistake marrying Alexia, and he wanted out. And probably, maybe it would have lasted had she not gone back on the show, but the show turns her into the Bravo monster, like it does many women. Because when you're aging you're older. This is your last hurrah. It's like, it's so sad. It's a picture of Dorian Gray sad. It's like, you know, I just, she's delusional. And so I think that he's much more of a not serious. He's a little bit of a caricature of himself too, but he's trying to build something. And I think, you know, he saw himself married to this woman. He has 2 daughters that are kind of you know, well-adjusted, college-bound girls who have not gotten in any trouble, who are, you know, ambitious. And then she has the hot mess of the son, you know, that has beat up women and beat up homeless people and beat up taxi cab drivers. And then she has the, you know, father of her children who's a pedophile who has threatened me, you know. And the reason I talk about her possibly being on the chopping block is because Todd refused to film. So if Todd didn't film, that's a dead end. That's what happened to me. Like, nobody really understands why I was downgraded to friend. I was at the time engaged to a U.S. attorney. He could not appear on the show. That is very reasonable. He was appointed by Bush to be whatever. And so he is a public servant. He cannot appear on the show. And so after my divorce, there was nowhere to go. And I was not going to end the relationship to be on the show. So I think that that's what happened here. He refused to film anymore because it was embarrassing. And I think that they probably mutually decided to part ways. And I think he was done too. And that's what I'm talking about. I think that she is too much of a liability for Bravo because the ex-husband and the son threaten people. They threaten me. They threaten my daughter. Anytime she gets into any kind of conflict with anybody, these people, we're talking a known pedophile and drug dealer who has spent 30 years of his life in prison. He's a scary dude. So that's why I'm saying she was on the chopping block. I don't think she is now. What do you guys think?
I was like, I don't even, there's so much there. So wait, so you think, Ace, you could weigh into, so like, you think what? Like, because RHOM is on a pause. You think that they're trying to figure out what to do with the cast that she was maybe on the chopping block?
Right. I think she was on the chopping block for more than one reason. I do think that she provides good content. I think she's very Miami. And I think the best housewives are the ones that you can parody easily, right? So Alexia's like shit Miami girls say. Like, have you seen those videos on YouTube? That's what she is. She's supposedly irregardless, salmon, shrimps. She's that person. And so we want to see that. That's funny, right? And so I thought she gave that. Aging Cuban Barbie. It's kind of a little, you know, the Nicole's like the young, whatever, has the life she wished she had. I want to see all that. But once Todd is not involved, if Todd was still married to her, but not, recording with them, there is nothing other than her and her kids. Now she's going to go out there with the years she has,